is a party. We have a big group from the jump. What is going on, everyone? I am Enrique out of Austin, Texas, and we have a few people on here. You guys want to introduce yourselves?
Yeah, where should we start? My name is Lame Hillbilly or Austin. I run Frozen Walrus, Walrus English Club, and been in the scene for almost a year now, and loving it. So that's me.
All right, Danny.
Hello, I'm Danny. You might know me on Discord as the Godfather. So I'm I run MDB, and first time on the show, so really excited. Good to be here.
And I am Yabonks. My name's Alex. Most of you guys know me if you're watching this. And then we got this guy up here.
What's up, guys? Austin here. I think everybody knows me as well. YouTube. I do all that cool passive income stuff.
Yeah, they may not recognize you because you're not late. So I don't know.
Hey, I've only been late to this podcast like twice, all right? Out of 12 episodes.
No, Alex,
What?
is that true?
More than that?
Nah, it's like it's like 75% of the time.
Yeah. Yeah. He's only been late twice.
I'm fashionably late, all right?
There you go. There you go. All right. So I know Danny's only going to join us for about 20. I think we were able to get 25 minutes out of him. So, Danny, what is new with all things MDB, man?
What is new? So MDB, what have we been doing? We've got our B2B applications is sort of a really important part of driving driving sort of volume through the ecosystem and creating value for the project. So the kind of two big ones that we're pushing on that at the moment. The first one is obviously Gravity. I think we're up to 9 Gravity projects now, and there's sort of like 4 or 5 in discussion. So there seems to be no shortage. Yeah, I think I came up with the idea for Gravity because I saw like a million ways to start a project and very few ways to kind of bring one to a close. And I think that's probably really challenging both for the team and the holders. And so I spotted a gap really there. And so that's been super, super busy. We just Gravity Ooze, which was our biggest by a bit. Our biggest ever Gravity was Ooze. So their drop happened last night. So if you held Ooze, you've now got MDB, and welcome to the family. You'll see many sales on our chart because it was a lot of liquidity spread across a really large number of people. So a lot of people had just come in and sold, which is fine, right? That's okay as well. And then on the other side, we've got NFTX, and we're about to start really industrializing that process. Actually, I think you have an idea, you put it to work, and NFTX is, running an NFT project is actually quite challenging. If you think about design work, smart contracts, the marketing, operations, drumming up the interest, all of that it's a lot of work, and there's a lot of moving parts. So we provide sort of an out-of-box service from design through to mint. Obviously, our first big partner was EMP. So I think we did the EMP mint on Sunday. It was I'm told, I can't verify because I'm not an expert on all things BSC, but I'm told that it's the largest mint on BSC. So we did 1.5 million mint with EMP, and now we've got business development guy starting with us in the next few days. They've obviously got a great case study now to take into project, start from number 1 and work down on BSC and say, look, these guys have got something out of the box which can deliver value for you. And so we've got both of those are pumping pretty hard. And then we've got Xenia 2.0 launching in. We just announced in an AMA just before this on the 17th of November, which brings lots of automation features, auto-compounding farm, swapper between any token in our ecosystem, auto Phoenix Plus. So if you get cashed out, it will just re-put you back in.
Nice.
Yeah, lots of cool stuff. And we talked about MDB AI, which we haven't got time to talk about today, which is just like, I don't know. Austin,
it's my favorite
one. Like MDB AI.
Yeah, it's my favorite one so far.
Yeah.
Let's build some anticipation, Danny. So everybody listening, you got to wait until Monday for our Twitter Spaces to get more in depth on that.
I like that Phoenix Plus thing because I wish I would have just went right back into it. I would be up so much I'd be up like almost 50% on Phoenix Plus if I
And
would have
that's
just
what we're finding.
hopped right back in.
We're finding the TVLs dropping and people aren't getting the APY they would have, just because you need to manually put yourself back in. So it's a lose-lose. So by us automating that would be great. But yeah, apart from all that stuff, we're just waiting for the bull market.
Yeah,
I have
Aren't
one
we all?
question, Danny, for the Xenia suite. So because obviously people have to go to the Xenia suite if they want to check on their rewards and all that stuff, despite if it's auto compounding. Have you thought about kind of like what EMP does, just a supplemental bonus source of revenue, just putting a banner ad somewhere on there where, because people already have to go there anyways, and you just get organic traffic to, I mean, even if it's a few $100 a month, or I don't know how lucrative
Austin's
banner ads are.
OnlyFans.
Oh, dude,
You could put my OnlyFans, you could put my YouTube channel,
Dude, they're not using like Google ads on their thing. They're like using DeFi projects, and DeFi projects will pay a lot of money to get exposure.
So I don't know how much.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, dude, if you put that on there, with how popular MDB is, you could probably get thousands of dollars a month. And thousands higher.
Why not? We were just doing some research yesterday, and we were looking at make DeFi better from an SEO perspective, and it was a lot higher than we expected, actually. Good suggestion, Austin.
I'll take a royalty. It's all right, man. We'll talk details later.
I've noticed, right? One thing I'm going to say whilst I got you guys here, I've noticed, I was laughing out loud earlier, and Alice said, "Why are you laughing?" I was watching James's like 250 video, and it's like I said, like in his next video, he's just going to have his tie around his head like it's the last day of school. You guys are getting like, you've had enough of DeFi. You're just not like pulling punches anymore. You're like, I'm just going to make some money. I'm not going to apologize for making money. And you're just calling stuff out. And you, Austin, you're coming out swinging.
Yeah. I mean, dude, it's just like, I don't know. I feel like I try to do the tough love approach now, I guess, maybe. What it's just like, bro, if you, for instance, if you're a project that you're trying to say you're using trade logs as revenue and you don't produce said trade logs, I'm going to harass you a bit.
Rightfully so. I mean, that's one of the big, how there's always like seasons in DeFi. They happen very fast because it's very degen and everything's amplified. But every season comes with its own strengths and weaknesses. And like this last 3 weeks has been like the season of trading bots and stable fund and this and that. And, I think rightfully so, we need to question, how are your bots any better than me going on 3 and like putting some money in, right? Like I think that's mainly where I'm at with it, because I never got into trading bots because I don't know enough about them. So I'm kind of I'm not good with that, but I know Austin has a lot of experience in it, so I'm assuming he definitely wants to see the logs.
Yeah.
We have a
Especially
question.
Yeah.
Oh no, go ahead, because we got a question from the audience.
Yeah, we got a question for Danny, more of a UK specific question, but with the new PM being pro crypto, which is kind of an interesting comment because some can make the argument that he's not. But anyways, is there anything on the horizon news-wise, either HMRC, I don't know what that stands for, taxation-wise, that would benefit the MDB ecosystem?
Well, I suppose now it'll be His Majesty's. It was Her Majesty's. It's the tax office, basically. It's your IRS. But the simple answer is you have to wait. Regulation takes years, right? And politicians saying stuff. Politicians should run DeFi protocols because they say shit and then don't deliver anything for years, and they're out of a job before they delivered it anyway. So there's a lot of connections there,
and they still take a paycheck.
They still get paid.
Yes,
forever, right?
Forever.
Yeah.
Yes.
In the UK, aren't they getting paid forever? Like that shit, like what was that lady? She was in there for like a month and then she was out or something, and she got
the same for presidents, right? It's
6 figures for life.
It's the same for presidents, and she hung it out until like just long enough, so she got that payment. So you know what? Like, she was hounded. I'd do the same, wouldn't you?
I can't blame her. I can't blame her.
I can't blame her. Yeah,
it's horrendous. But anyway, so I think one thing that's interesting is that in the UK, it's a really versus a lot of Europe. Actually, the UK has a lot of businesses that are small entrepreneurial businesses. It's a big part of our mix, and there's a lot of startup grants, funding, innovation money out there for those businesses. But crypto's kind of just been like a no, if I'm brutally honest. It's something we've been working through around business registration and regulation and stuff like that. And, having to assess options like registering in Malta, for instance, or Dubai. And so we've been going through all of that. If it could become more favorable in the UK, which the UK is normally like really at the sharp end of things, so it's disappointing that they're not on this. If they could, then maybe it opens up to a lot of innovation funding as well, but it remains to be seen. I do want to call out, like, is that Let's Go Brando? Is that the naked man Brando?
Yes, that's the naked man. Yeah,
That is the real
Because
one.
he was on there. He like the villagers are not happy with you, Brando, because you said that MDB is a Ponzi. Like a man who made his name in Tomb Forks is throwing shade on another project, calling him a Ponzi.
You don't like Tomb Forks, Danny?
No, I don't. Like, the man loves them.
said
He's like,
yes.
he's like,
Just straight
it's a
stone cold
Ponzi,
yes.
and he's like, he made his career in Tomb Forks. It's like they are what they are, right? But
Yeah.
anyway, but yeah, no, Brando, the villagers were not happy with you. They're like sharing the video, saying 350 in, look at Brando, and then people going. I think I said something like, the man can't even get dressed in the morning. Like, I like Brando. He's funny.
He's
But,
great. Yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
He's
a legend, man.
he is.
Yeah, I'm a
He
fan.
is.
Yeah. So, what would be your response to that?
He says it's a
I-
Ponzi. I don't understand it.
yeah, Danny. How? Like, I mean, that's obviously your
What is your
ecosystem
what would be
and
your
project is so
simple
much more than that.
anti-Ponzi
Yeah.
argument?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But look, one thing I would say is that any AMM is a Ponzi, right? It's Ponzonomic by nature. The AMM that sits behind, the pancake swap is a Ponzi, right? You can't get away from that. And the same as stocks and shares and all sorts. It's what happens around that, right? So what sits around, if you're trading, Intel stock, is there's a business there, right? So a lot of the stock value is speculation, and it is Ponzonomic in nature because it's on an AMM. However, there is this other business around it. Now, MDB sits on an AMM, but it has this tax structure. It has two funds that sit around it. And then we also have B2B revenues as well, of which I talked about at the very start of this process also. So in a very similar way to a business, we do sit on an AMM, no more or less than anybody else. However, we then have this function, and because our system is deflationary, you basically, if you start off with 10 tokens and $1, and you get that from 10 tokens to $5, and you get 10 tokens to 5 tokens, and you get from $1 to $2, then 2 divided by 5 is you're better back. So financially, you're in greater health, and that's the capital synergy model that our system runs on to try and counterbalance the Ponzonomic nature of an AMM.
I think one reason Brando hates, well, not really hates, but just has that opinion on MDB is the taxes. He said no taxes. USA tax already too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand. Look, if you pay taxes and they're paying for some project owner's Lambo or some politician's office, I understand. I completely agree.
Yeah.
However, our taxes are used in a way which means it's anti-Ponzi. If you held on to if you were the last holder in MDB, you'd be the happiest.
I mean, I'll say that they're in this space, right? Because we use the word Ponzi all the time. And in a way, everything is a Ponzi when it comes to currency. And really the only distinction between like a true non-Ponzi is like, do you pay your taxes with it in your local country? Because if you could classify the US dollar as a Ponzi, all that stuff. I think the term we should probably start using is this a nefarious, deceiving Ponzi, or is this, like everything else, like you said, an AMM, right? Because we'll have a project, say bullcrap project XYZ, that's claiming you can get X amount of return every single day when all that X return is new people's money, versus a project like MDB that, like it runs on the Ponzi-nomics like AMM does, but it's not deceiving, saying you're going to get a guaranteed return because people are giving me money that's going to give you money. Does that make sense?
Yep.
That's actually exactly right. I try not to use the word Ponzi at all out here, because if you go to investor.gov, our government and legal system has multiple criteria to define it. One is deceptive marketing and exaggerated gains that are unrealistic, especially represented in dollars. And when projects start saying you're going to get this many dollars this percent in dollars per year, then that's something shady's going on. And then it can start being classified as that if they went to trial in our country. And then, you know, there would be a panel of some kind, a judge, maybe a jury, and they would actually like have to determine based on these factors if that is a Ponzi or not. But there's like 10 different things. So just because somebody got in before somebody else and they made money and they lost money, like that, you could say that for any market, especially any liquid market. And then like if, you know, OTC markets and stuff, then you're like, well, what's that mean? And then I don't know. So Austin, you're right on. It has a lot to do with how you market it, how you, if you're honest or not with people, if it's a regulated or unregulated security, all those things go into it.
Yeah, and I just wanted to add to that. I think Danny did really well tying yourself so closely and integrating yourself with BNB because it really is one of the top projects. It's safe, but yet still has a ton of upside. So I think it's really cool that you did that. I thought at first it was a risky move, but
it is also in the terms people throw around a Ponzi, right? You know, BNB itself will sit on a structure that if people sell, it will go down. If people buy, it will go up. But when I looked at tokens in the market, what I could see is that BNB is the outside of that bit in the middle, which is the AMM and the structure we described. I know it's not quite an AMM for BNB because it's, you know, much more complex sort of like system. But outside of that, there's lots of business uses for it. And, you know, I don't want to hate on Bitcoin because that'll end your career. But come on, like. You know, whereas BNB's got a lot of uses. It's not surprising, is it, that it's so resilient?
It's up to 352 right now.
Oh, I didn't know that. Wow.
Dude, it popped off today. So did Ethereum. It's like we just had a
Matic's gone crazy.
Really? I didn't see. Oh, yeah. Damn, 21%.
Matic just had like a JP Morgan had their first taxing on a blockchain that ended up being Polygon. I mean, Polygon, I have to say, being a layer 2, you know, they weren't doing a lot when the bull market really hit hard. But then when the bear started hitting, they had the Disney announcement, then the next thing, then the next thing. Matic is kicking ass at bringing
it is.
People.
It really is. There was a project where I owned a lot of it, and it was on Matic, so their LP should be doing really well. I'll check it out.
Yeah, the partnerships are just one after another. Coca-Cola, Instagram.
Whoever's on their team pulling that is doing an incredible job because
they're doing great.
Most of the big names that we see in corporations from the U.S., I've been seeing them interact with the only thing in crypto I've seen them interact with is Matic, honestly.
Yeah, that's where all the cool kids want to go. And a lot of the top dabs, that's where they want to create and develop is with.
Although I would look at the metrics, and this was one of my reasons for choosing BNB, was that, you know, you had Phantom, you had AVAX, and you do get, I think at the same time, I agree with you, by the way, mate. I completely agree with you. But at the same time, like behind the marketing and the partnerships, has to be like how often is that being moved around and actually used, and that's still a mega important metric, and it's still well below what BNB is.
Oh, for sure. Matic for DeFi users is not popular. I don't use Matic a lot because I think the transactions are like the TPS is much lower than what's offered in like BSC and AVAX, and honestly, the thing it's supposed to offer is a layer 2 to Ethereum. I really don't see that benefit being until they get the ZK roll up out. So I don't use it for DeFi. Yeah. But
they are launching. Is it Polygon Edge, or there's another one where they're launching a private version of Matic? We're interested in that for a SaaS business that we've been sort of exploring. I don't know if you guys know anything about that. Any sort of like leading private blockchains?
What do you mean private? Like only like registered people are able to use it?
Well, private blockchain means that the data isn't visible to everybody on the blockchain.
Oh.
Yeah.
I've never heard of it.
Yeah. Like Monero?
Yeah, it's really limited, right? You can say, oh, you're going to use it for medical records. And you're like, what? Like your next door neighbor can see, what your bonks caught in Dubai.
Oh yeah.
No, but yeah, so private blockchain I think is really important.
And Bitcoin with the Lightning network that's coming out is actually going to have more security than it has right now. So that is an important factor that we have to consider when we're building, especially on the application layers of these networks. Is totally public, transparent ledger a good thing all the time? No, it's not. A lot of businesses have to have some level of privacy to operate.
Yeah, because a lot of the things we could do, especially like in the stock market, like look at the corporations that lead them. You look at how little you can say as a CEO of a company, right? Because everything could sway an investor or the speculation up or down. So what you're able to actually say is very limited. So moves that you make on the blockchain, if someone sees, for instance, me moving like $100,000 in my treasury to make a move for a purchase, that's not good, right? Some people could see that as negative and sell. Some people could see it as positive. I'm about to buy something. What is he about to buy? There's 1,000 ways you can read it, but what I'm saying is a private blockchain for specifically DeFi owners, I think would be kind of nice.
Yeah, and if we go to like a real like full-blown monetary system based on blockchain technology, in America at least, like we've got the Bill of Rights, we got the Fourth Amendment, privacy of our like our papers and all that stuff and our documents and transactions, and then that led into like the Banking Secrecy Act or whatever. So like that's like a hot button topic still with our current banking system. And it's, if we go fully transparent, it's like, does that infringe on some of our constitutional rights if they were to push that at a federal level? And then obviously you're in the UK. I don't know what it's like there with banking, privacy rights, and things like that.
Well, UK's done a lot of kind of like anti-crypto things in the last few weeks and months that are a little concerning. But the big one that I saw is the big bank Santander. They basically are trying to limit how much crypto can be purchased, and to me, that's a huge big problem. I mean, I was already so worried about what's happening with all these different kind of power and greed, kind of hungry guys that are in governments all over the world that are going to use CBDCs for all the wrong reasons to control us. And so when we start seeing articles like this, especially coming out of the UK, it is a little concerning. So Danny, it's kind of weird because at first it seemed like the UK was becoming more crypto friendly, but it seems like lately that's kind of changed. What are your thoughts as someone that actually lives there?
Well, Santander is obviously, it's a Spanish owned sort of.
Oh, that's right, Spanish owned. My bad. Great call.
Yeah. So, but yeah, Santander UK. I think I met someone really interesting today, and we were talking about sort of blockchain and payment solutions, and he was saying that 70% of retailers are thinking about a way that they can accept blockchain. And when you get into more high value assets, then people are more likely to treat themselves if they have a win with blockchain. So therefore, it's more interesting for those assets. And like, at the end of the day, as a bank, you're just facilitating the money between organizations and people, or organization to organization or person to person. And if the demand is moving towards that and you're moving away from it, then I think you're probably you're just making yourself less competitive, right? So I think,
Yeah,
There's
no, that
way
totally
the
makes
government
sense.
of either the UK or anywhere thinks that like putting in regulations to completely block our access to DeFi or like limit how much we can purchase. There's no way they could think that's beneficial to the economy. Because like you said, if someone, like if me personally, like if I went big on a trade or anything else, I don't oftentimes want to transfer it out to my bank account because of the legal implications of the taxes and everything else. But I would gladly spend that in my own economy, right? Like I would be more than ready to spend money.
CryptoRefills.com.
And
I love it. It's the best thing ever, dude. I love it so much.
I swear to God, it's the man.
Dude,
I'm like, that's all I'm gonna say.
They have eBay on there. They have Amazon on there. They have
everything,
dude. I'm going on a vacation. I think in February or March, all from crypto.
Yep, I'm going to Chicago
Just from that side.
next weekend, and it's all paid for by Crypto Refill.
Sounds like we're sponsoring it or something, but we're not. It's just hilarious.
I emailed them and I told them I have a large platform and I rep your shit all the time. I don't want any credit. It says your product's awesome.
Yeah. Shout out to Brando. He's the one that told me about it. And I was like, we were on a phone call one day and he was telling me about it. And I was like, wait a minute. What? And it looks like a complete scam. Like it looks like they're gonna just steal your seed phrase, but I mean it works.
Dude, it messed up and it took $500 from me. Didn't give me the card I wanted, and I was freaking out. Like that's a big hit to my budget. And I'm like, oh, I fucked up. I need to do smaller transactions next time. I emailed them, dude. They fixed it in 2 days and sent me they just sent me the cash or the gift cards
Nice.
after the fact.
Use Badali because they have some extra ones on there that's not Bidali, and they use the exact same service, and it's actually supposed to be a little bit more credible than even crypto refills.
What's it called? Badali?
Bidali. But yeah, I'm just saying.
I told
obviously-
Danny.
I need to shoot, guys. I'm like well over time. But
Well, Danny, I told you I'm gonna say this one more time. You need to talk to crypto refills on having MDB as a payment option.
Okay.
I actually contacted them about adding Walrus. No joke.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Hey, thanks for talking with us though, Danny.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Danny.
it.
Yeah,
Always
thanks,
good to have you,
Danny.
man.
See ya.
Take care. Bye bye.
See ya. Lame Hillbilly, you're the one who told me about crypto refills months ago. Like, I forget. I helped you with something, and you're like, "Here, I got you, bro. Check this out." And you sent it to me. It changed my life.
All right, here's the real deal. Go on there and log in and tell me how much of points you have.
Okay.
Let's compare how much points. Because
All
I've
right.
These people are full-time shoppers. I've only used it one time, but
I've got 2,554.
How much? How many?
2,554.
Wow. Let me
Here
check.
soon, I get a 50.
Oh, bro. You said how much? 2,000.
554.
I have 4,715.
Ooh.
Oh my
Hold on,
gosh.
click that. Yabonks, you know you get a $40 gift card for 5,000, right?
Sweet.
Yeah, you get a $40 voucher. Anyway,
Hey,
I guess,
so-
we're plugging.
Dude,
them all.
that's how I pay for my phone bill.
Yeah.
Like that's how I pay for my groceries. That's how I pay for all the animal stuff that we use on the sanctuary.
I paid
Like
a year off on all my subscription services. NordVPN, all my
Nice.
Spotify, everything.
Yeah, everyone use VPNs. If you don't, go get a VPN. It's like $3 a month. Just do it.
NordVPN it actually doesn't host any of your data anywhere that the U.S. government can ever take it from. There's a lot of really cheap options, but I can't remember what it's called, but certain VPNs are still susceptible to giving out information to the government of your choice. But NordVPN specifically does not allow that. So that's the
Nice.
one that I've been using for quite some time.
Hey,
I like
also-
Proton VPN, like from the guys who made Proton Mail. Yeah.
Yeah, I would actually
All
use
right.
that a lot too.
So, guys, we had a couple questions for Lame Hillbilly, but I didn't want to ask them while we still had Danny on. So the first one was here. I'll put it up right here. LHB. Any updates on the balancer decks you are working on?
Yeah, so obviously people got a small bad taste in their mouth for balancer dexes with the recent developments for Equinox, and I can speak a lot about it and what they actually messed up. I actually talked with the team pretty extensively on it. It was a big boo-boo on their end, but yeah, we're really trying to bring this blue chip, and I'm not just saying that to say it for like marketing. I genuinely mean it, and so we are opening up VC round funding. We have Steve, the mod father, who's from he's boots on the ground at a lot of these crypto conferences, and he's actually spoken with the AVAX head of marketing. So I'm trying to get in cahoots with him and Ava Labs and start getting grants and start getting pushed by them. I'm working right now, similar to what Danny was saying. It's very hard to LLC these companies in the U.S., especially a DEX, because some can be seen as securities as what you're trading. So I am looking to LLC it here in the States if I can. I have obviously a lawyer that covers Frozen Walrus and Glacier in its entirety. But the front end is being worked on right now, and we actually have the same devs that work on MDB, the lead guy there. I don't know if you guys know him, but
Yeah.
we're pretty. He's amazing, by the way. He's an amazing dev. We're
Yeah,
actually
he's-
bringing him on as our lead dev for the entire balancer fork, and he has
Good.
a
Good.
team of like 18 devs that we can dip into at any point. We're going big on the budget. We're going
Yeah.
big on the audit, big on the marketing. 30, 40K a piece on those. Like I don't just want this to be a DEX that like plays into Frozen Walrus, right? I want this to be a DEX to take out market share from Trader Joe. And we looked at launching it on BSC, but BSC, I don't know if you guys know this, but PancakeSwap takes 90% of the volume. And I don't see that moving, and that's with another 10 to 15 DEXs behind it. They do about like 350 to 400 million in volume out of the 500 million that may be done a day. It's insane. But if you look at AVAX, obviously much less volume, but Trader Joe is the only person that takes it. I don't know if you've all ever used Trader Joe.
Oh yeah,
it's
Yeah.
absolutely
I hate
trash.
it.
It's absolutely
I
trash.
hate it,
right?
dude.
So
It's not
I
great.
don't even use a lot of like if I hear a project's on AVAX, I somewhat don't even want to check it out because I have to use Trader Joe or anything else because it's just
I'm with you.
oh
So-
you can use Swapsicle.
I use Bogged though. Like I use Bogged on it, and
Yeah.
it'll usually use Trader Joe on the back end. But like I don't have to deal with the front end then. And
So
Yeah.
what we
Yeah.
presented, and we actually have our docs out now, and you all can stop me if I'm speaking too much on it, but I haven't said this out in a public setting much other than my own Ask Me Anything, so it's kind of exciting to talk about and kind of get your all's perspective on it. So the main thing is we have a token that's a farm token called Glacier, right? And that'll be the emission token for all of these. But Owen specifically for the Magic team, he really wanted to find a way to make it where this token wasn't just an instant dump, right? So people can't just buy into it. So there's delegation pools that you lock into to get votes for the boosted pools, similar to all the other balancers. But we're actually doing two different pools. We're doing a 90-10, which is called the Alpha Glacier pool, and then we're doing a 60-40, which is called the Delta Glacier pool. And obviously the higher delegation will go to the bigger risk, which would be the 60-40, the Delta. You would get more governance for it. And then you also have almost a single stake in essence, a 90-10 pool. That would be the Alpha. And so with these two mechanics, we're trying to change up what you can do with the Glacier token. And not everything has to be monetarily gainful. We're trying to think of how many layers can we add on top of this, on top of the regular balancer forks that make it where anybody that just wants to use a DEX can come in, use the DEX. And obviously a balancer tech has much slower swap fees and has a lot more to offer than a regular AMM. But also, like, what can we do with the Glacier token to let the user want to be there and give it deflationary aspects in all the trades and how you trade it, so that there's always spurts of volatility in the token, and by keeping demand somewhat high and then increasing the deflationary aspect so that there always comes a point of inflection where there's more demand than supply. And so we'll have little spurts of this. And we have a white paper out right now. We are collecting VC funding, and it's, we're really trying to go big. I'm excited about it. I love the look of it. I love Balancer Tech, and honestly, it's nothing like this is offered on AVAX. BSC has it, obviously. Ethereum has it. Phantom has it. Beethoven.
you're racing champion finance on AVAX right now for a balancer DEX.
Is it really racing?
Well, I don't know. I have a lot of confidence in Mark and his team. They're superstars out here right now.
Who's Mark?
Isn't that who you guys are using?
Oh, you're talking about. I thought you were talking about champions.
No. I know. I'm talking about Mark's company. And
we have Mark
Yeah.
and his entire company. We have Jimmy, who's the back end dev over at Magic. Then we have Vincent, who's an amazing security guy. You've probably seen.
dude, Vincent's awesome, bro. Yeah.
So he'll be testing a lot of the security features that we're going to be implementing, and then we have Jumpman for our front end, and then I also have someone else from Grape that I can do my front end. So our team is really expanded, and we have the scalability to really drive this big. And if I can get in talks with Ava Labs and AVAX to any capacity and really start pushing this, because obviously they're going to want more platforms, but there's more to it than that. We're trying to find ways to integrate deeply with Vinium, obviously Grape's platform. And then there's also a special secret sauce that I can't speak to yet because Magic and their team hasn't revealed it yet. But there's a little bit more that's coming into it where you're going to be able to one click and do some extra spicy stuff with your assets all on our UX. And so what we're trying to do is bundle these three products that aren't offered anywhere on AVAX and allow you to have these financial tools and use it like it's supposed to be used. And that's kind of the gist of it, right?
When you're making all this stuff and like you're talking about like you all have the ability to scale, like are you all like just bootstrapping this like from personal funds? Like where's the money coming from to like raise all this?
Yeah, we're VC.
VC, okay.
So like we have an offer for, it's essentially almost like a little bit of equity in the company is how we're structuring.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask is like how much percentage are the VCs getting?
Yeah, it's not a huge amount. The way that Owen structured it.
Owen structured it really well. He laid it all out for me the other night on a video call. He's like, dude, I want to get your opinion on this because of what happened, with Equinox the first few weeks. Like the seed round investors, they dumped super hard, faster really than I think people were expecting. So it made the main token go down a bit faster than I think a lot of us were thinking it would. So Owen's putting some kind of checks in place with the tokenomics to really make sure that
alpha and
sustainable.
The alpha and delta pool, we'll be playing with those two mechanics. We'll be giving you a lot of liquidity or 25% of your investment in the delta, which is the 60-40 pool, right? We'll give that to you right at launch. But what will be trickled out is 4x the rest of the 75% over the course of 2 to 3 years in the delta in the alpha pool, which is the 90-10. And if you're selling that as fluently as you get it, right, you're pretty much burning your own ass on that because it's a 90-10 pool. You're dumping mainly Glacier, and then you have 2 or 3 years left of those emissions coming to you. You're not going to be actively trying to dump it every single time you get it. And so obviously you have to have risk versus reward. But I think it's really well structured, and we're coming in with a lot of heat. It's a huge project, right? When I first got it out, I was like, oh man, it's only going to take like a month because the contracts are already there. We can kind of just fork it. But this went so much bigger than I thought. The team has gotten so much bigger, and I'm extremely confident, but I'm seeing what's happening in the market, and I'm just taking it really slow. I really want a credited audit because I feel like, and maybe I'm just being paranoid, if we're trying to take on the big boys, not only do we need to have that audit, but I do think that I will be attacked. I think that the platform will be attacked to some extent if we get anywhere near taking some market share. Trader Joe's been top of the game for 2-3 years, and there's been nothing in the place. Obviously, there's people that are coming up, so I'm not speaking towards Swapsicle. They're very new. I'm talking about just like in the major market share of AVAX. Trader Joe's always been that, right? But this is a different style DEX, so and there's not a lot of financial tools that are offered on AVAX. Aave is over here on AVAX, so borrowing and lending, but we have Venium that we can work hand in hand with, right? And when they launch a token, where could they, there's a lot of things that we're working on, and I think we have a lot of leverage to bring in. There's some projects that currently aren't on AVAX that you may see come over and host some liquidity, some big projects. So I've been in talks with a lot of people, man. I've been busting my ass, working my ass off, just trying to make it as big as possible and making sure that we can build it to that scale. And I wanted to also, I'm very big on visuals. I don't know if you all have seen my new website for Frozen Walrus, but it's, in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, the best looking Tomb Fork website that there is.
It's slick. I do like it. Isn't it like kind of retro 80s punk kind of?
That's going to be what Swapsicle is. I'm going with the 80s synthwave. But
80s synthwave, that's what it, yeah.
I love synthwave.
I do too, man. It's my favorite. But we're really going for that classic style. But no, the Frozen Walrus website just got completely redone. And it looks amazing. But
oh yeah, I was on here yesterday minting myself some I was trying to figure out how to mint myself some Walrus Anglers Club NFTs. Yeah. And I was like, oh, this is so different. Am I in the right website?
Yeah, but we really redid the whole website because I think that it really allows people to trust your website more. If you look at my website versus another website that may not be to the same caliber, you're going to pick the website that looks better, right? It's just natural. Like if you can get any market edge in the space, you have to do it. And so, I was very excited.
I don't know, man. Have we seen Curve?
Have we seen Drip? Have we seen Drip though? They've been saying they were going to upgrade that UI like 8 months ago. What happened to that?
One of my friends, in real life friends, like when I started ever getting like into the DeFi space, he was showing, one of the first things he ever showed me was Curve, and I was like, "What in the absolute heck? You put money on this thing?" Like I was, oh man! And then it turns out to be one of the largest platforms ever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Amazing.
But yeah, it's just that's just one of my things is that I need the UI and UX to work as beautifully as the back end does, right? Balancer is a fickle beast, and it's got like 55 contracts, and very clearly is touchy, because that's actually what happened to Equinox. And I don't want to speak for the team, but there was a test function that was pressed that shouldn't have been, and it bricked the contracts for potentially a very long time. And
yeah, they tested to change the gauge weights on 3 of the pools before they would do it on, you know, the real function. And whatever happened, it just fucking bricked those 3 pools.
And
as far as they know, they're reaching out to Balancer and to Curve, and they're being like, "Hey, do you guys have a backdoor? Like, do you have a way to undo this that we just don't know about?" And yeah, hopefully they figure that out.
But I really feel confident that Glacier can really be big. And the main factor, the main difference between us and Equinox, and I'm not saying it's good, it's better or worse, is that I felt like Equinox was 30% of those fees were used to buy back all of the Equinox tokens, the AAA tokens in the ecosystem, right?
Yeah,
that's almost like taxing users that have no idea what Equinox tokens are or what the AAA ecosystem is, right? They're just being taxed for trading. They have to be independent products, and by my products, I'm speaking about Frozen Walrus and Glacier. They have to be different to some extent. Glacier should not be built to support Frozen Walrus, right? We're able to launch Glacier and have this amazing project, and then host our own liquidity, and we can add burn fees or do different dynamics with that, add emissions, whatever we want, because we own our own liquidity. But it's very important to me that they're very standalone. And that's how I also did Walrus Anglers Club, is that these 3 products need to work together and stream together to some extent, but they also need to be standalone and their own business. And it also has kept me very busy.
So a couple other questions for you, Austin. The first one is, how's the minting going?
Man, we have been burning it up. I actually did not expect. I actually recently opened up OTCs, and we have now 1461 minted, and I have another couple hundred that want to be OTC. And so we're minting.
I might be trying to OTC some as well before you guys mint out, because that discount. So like,
So the reason we did OTC is because
it's too good to pass up.
We don't have to buy Walrus share with half of it. And the reason that we're doing it is because if we can get 20 KA3 miners, we already have 11, right? We already have them ordered. But if we can get 20, it'll actually put 20% above everybody else.
I want to let you know. I think Zara will be coming on next Friday. I'm gonna be trying to get her on. You should come on again as well, because I would really love to dive deep into the partnership that you guys now have, because she's the real deal when it comes to Asic miners and that whole business. She's like,
she can blow me out of the water with information.
Dude, she's so deep in that
stuff, bro.
She's so deep in that game.
I told her she would come on with her if she would do a spelling bee with me.
She's got all the Chinese connections to all the companies manufacturing these things. She's had multiple year-long relationships with them. And when you said, "Hey, I saw that you were like, oh man, we're negotiating with a new Chinese supplier," I'm like, dude, come here, talk to Zara. I put you guys in a group chat. I'm like, figure this out. She'll hook you up.
Yeah. And
did you know you can buy ASIC miners at Walmart now?
No way, dude.
Stop. Probably at a freaking super high premium though.
I don't know.
That's so freaking funny.
There's no way they're even getting supply of it. Like these KA3 sold out 2,000 in 30 seconds. Like they're getting ASIC miners that have either been used or are new and already outdated. There's absolutely no way you're getting a good deal.
Austin, I got a question for you. Sure. Well, it's so weird saying Austin. Jesus, what? I need to know your last name. So in high school, funny story. In high school, there were, in my graduating class alone, there were like 6 Austin, 7. So we all called each other by our last name. So I need to know your last name. No, I'm joking. They're Brando. Brando always likes to Walrus. Okay, Walrus. Brando loves to give you a hard time about Walrus. He said, Walrus is dead. Sorry, 16-cent peg. Do you have any, objectively though, do you have any concerns of how, because everybody goes by price action, a lot of people do. Do you have any concerns, people looking at your previous, well, not previous project, but still active project, Frozen Walrus, and being like, oh my gosh, like, is this going to bleed over into, you know, Anglers Club and everything else you're doing, like your future endeavors?
I mean, that's a really good question. And so what I'd say is that Walrus is in a transitory phase, like all other Tomb Forks are. It's very difficult to make a Tomb Fork perform in a low demand market, and that's currently what we're experiencing, right? It's just part of the game. And so what we have to do is manage deflationary aspects of the coin, and I've addressed that. I don't know if you've seen my X Walrus or what it does, but you're able to move into this illiquid asset similar to bonds. Well, I'll answer your other part of the question after I explain X Walrus and kind of the success we've actually seen with X Walrus. So X Walrus, you're able to mint your Walrus into X Walrus, and that's the only single stake pool you can get to, and it's completely illiquid for now until Glacier comes out. But as you mint X Walrus's mint price goes up logarithmically. So it's already like 1.2 Walrus per X Walrus, right? We currently, right now, have 53% of the total supply of Walrus completely locked up in the X Walrus contract, right? And then that also burns 25% when you mint it. So we have 217,000 Walrus burned. So right now we're lowering the amount needed to have price appreciation. There's low demand in everything, and including, especially on AVAX, at Tomb Fork on AVAX, it's very difficult to drive demand. But if we can secure enough, if we get to 75, 80% locked, right? That means there's only going to be 400,000 Walrus in circulating supply, right? And once that happens, the demand is Glacier emissions. The demand is this, that, and the other products, and real revenue coming in from Glacier to our frozen Walrus treasury, real revenue coming in from the Walrus Anglers Club mints. All of these things are being taken and applied, and we're doing the best that we can with these tokens. And I fully believe, otherwise I wouldn't still be sitting here saying it, that Walrus will see another day. And that's not even to say that Walrus is done with this transitory phase. We saw that Magic is completely changing the entire dynamic of the Tomb
Completely.
And I love it. And I speak with Owen every day. And trust me, he has about 10 other ideas on what we could do with the Cineorge model a little bit different. The only aspect that I really want to keep from the Cineorge model with these tokens is that I really like that when there's high demand for the tokens and it's over a certain price point, that you're able to capture that Cineorge of gaining the expansion, right? From getting extra Walrus. That's the only thing I really love about the model. But obviously the inflation rate's too high, and the expectation from the bull market was that you could sustain this level of inflation. And I think that has to be tapered, and we have to use this model in a different way. So yes, it's obviously sucks that we're at 16 cents. Yes, I get it. But we're also doing the best that we can. We have an amazing community of 4,000 people that I've never marketed for. And we built it from grassroots. You know, we've been at the bottom, building it up with no marketing other than myself. And I'm very confident that we'll see better days. We also have almost 50% of the Walrus share supply completely locked up by the Treasury. And so, you know, these assets, we have to deflate them because during this time of 2.5 months where we performed excellent, and then we had our bank run, the inflation was no question, right? The inflation was going and people were just still fucking buying and buying and buying. But now we're at a different point in the market. And so we have to do something different. And that's what we're trying to do. And someone said, we all just dropped the word transitory from crypto vocabulary.
The chat's blowing up with this transitory.
As they should.
So the inflation is transitory. I get it. I get the meme from Mr. Powell. But
well, it wasn't Powell. It was really Yellen. But yeah.
Oh, was it Yellen? Okay. So,
well, she's the one came up with that. But yeah.
So whatever you want to call it, you know, we're not done changing things until something works. And honestly, if anybody wants to see from like if you look at price action only, but you haven't seen me in the weeds for 10 months, giving back almost $1 million to my community, you know, and doing the right thing every single fucking time without question. If that's not somebody that you want to invest in, then I don't know where else you're going to put your money in the space.
Oh, I agree. Austin, I have a question. It's not from our viewers. It's actually from me. So you mentioned your lawyer earlier. And I feel like guys like you are in such a weird spot right now because of the douchebag himself, Gary Gensler. They haven't really told us the rules of engagement. We don't know the rules. We're playing the game and not knowing the rules. So when you talk to your lawyer, what does he tell you? Like, how does he interpret what's going on and all this lack of clarity?
So the good news is he's in DeFi, and that helps a lot. So he actually keeps up with the DeFi market heavily. He looks at all regulations. He looks over all. So pretty much right now, because of the gray area, the big no-nos are referral codes, offering monetary returns, saying things are like you'll get this much back, guaranteeing any kind of thing. And then there's a couple other verbiages, but that's mainly it, is just restructuring verbiages to make sure that there's no implications of what I'm offering is, but that's really the main thing, because everything else we don't know. We don't know if I can use a stable coin, or I can make a stable coin, or I can LLC a DEX. It's all it makes me nervous every day. I just want to do my job and abide by the law that is presented here in Kentucky, but it's impossible. They're making it an impossibility, and it's frustrating, because everything I do, I have to second guess myself, because who am I going to talk to, that's here in the middle of bumfuck Kentucky that knows everything, right?
Dude, I think when it comes to DeFi, one really cool thing that I'm noticing with the legal stuff that you're talking about is, dude, it's probably going to make in the next 5 years, let's say, dude, the best entrepreneurs, in my opinion, are going to come from the DeFi space right now, because of the simple fact that you have to understand the art of pivoting more than most normal businesses do. Now, obviously, I'm not comparing myself to freaking Elon Musk or something, but when it comes to just truly understanding that you have to be adaptable, in an hour from now, because DeFi just happens so quick. I mean, dude, in traditional finance and traditional business, a pivot may need at least a month's time frame or something, bro. You need to pivot every day here. So
you need to stay for 3 days straight. You need to stay for 3 days straight and pivot immediately.
I wake up and look at the fires I have to put out from the previous day. It's like, you go to bed thinking you had a great idea, and then you wake up knowing that there's going to be something else on the plate, and something else you need to commit to, and then being able to word that to a community that was backing this plan, but you need to explain to them why you're switching to this plan, which, like you said, would normally take other businesses a month. It takes me a day to come to those conclusions, because things move so fast. And it's a tough industry, man.
And you're expected to move that fast. You're not in a business, right? If Apple were to undergo some crazy pivot, they'd be like, hey, they talk to their shareholders and be like, hey, the next quarter we're going to do XYZ. No, you're expected to be like, what the heck are you doing tomorrow, bro? Because now this isn't working. So yeah, I think, man, as far as being an entrepreneur goes and just wanting to do something for yourself, right now is the time. If you really want to grow and learn and fail, now's the time to fail, because I'm really excited to see where people go.
You get a lot of failures when you've been in this space. I'm almost in January 15th, I'll be a full year. And I've learned so much. I used to work as a operations supervisor for FedEx, and they're very corporate. So I learned a lot of the verbiage and how to speak publicly very well. But what I didn't know is a lot of other aspects of business, and I had to learn very fast. And I think I'm obviously getting much better at it now. Obviously, my strong suit was always community building and things like that. But because I'm so grassroots, or I bootstrap everything I do, I don't really have a big budget for everything. My team was internally built. Everything was done by myself. I'm still in between Walrus Anglers Club, Glacier, and Frozen Walrus. I'm the middle point to all of that, and I have this team that's ever expanding, and they just keep going through every single time, right? They have to go through me, and so it's a fast moving space, and as Mr. AJ knows, we're always moving.
What's up, AJ?
AJ.
What's up, everybody? I apologize. I'm with the family today. Fridays are usually my little bit of a break, so I don't have my video set up. But
wait, you take breaks?
Yeah, I know, bro. Right, Austin? Very rarely, but yeah, Friday nights are family. But no, I have about 20 minutes. I'd love to talk with you guys. And yeah, Lame Hillbilly, you know the grind, bro. It never ends, man. But we had a killer week. One of the largest independent NFT mint on all of BNB chain with our Sentinel Squadron. It's just unbelievable. The only larger NFT mint was the Pancake Swap buddies. So if we're competing with them, I think we're in a pretty good spot. So yeah, really excited to be here. Thanks for the invite, Yabonks.
You're welcome, man. I'm glad to have you here. I spent a lot of time this past week talking with you and working with you on that AMA for the Sentinel Squadron NFTs with Danny from MDB. Everybody just talked with a little bit. And that was, you guys broke records. And I kind of got to sit there and like record it all going down live. It was super fun. It was my most popular live stream I've ever done by far. Like,
yeah, bro, you were live for like 6 hours straight, right?
oh, dude, the like amount of live viewers for 6 hours was above and beyond any live stream I've ever done. It was crazy.
6 hours.
Six and a
I remember
half,
seeing
yeah.
you live when I woke up or something, and then I was like working, and I just checked my YouTube, and I still seen you on live. Like, bro, what is this guy drinking today?
Bro, I had the whole pot of coffee, and I was just hammering it. It was great.
Yeah,
This guy
well,
doing?
and we were up all the night before doing
Yeah.
AMA, and then I was up all night, like I wasn't gonna get any sleep even if I tried, but yeah, it was like a brutal 48 hours for everybody involved, and then
I'm amazed you did that, AJ. I normally like nobody would be like, yeah, let's stay up. I gotta launch this thing tomorrow, but screw it. Let's stay up and do this AMA. I don't need to sleep. I'm like, dude, me neither. Yeah, let's do this.
yeah.
Like, that was awesome.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, and Danny, we can give him a hard time. He had to jump off early, but yeah, we stuck it out. So, yeah. And was he on earlier? I missed him. What?
Yeah,
was
he
he at
just-
the beginning of the
he
stream?
just
Okay,
left.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, so AJ, and I'm Enrique. Nice to meet you. But
Yeah,
Lady
Enrique,
Boss,
totally,
yeah,
bro. Great to meet
Yeah,
you too, bro.
yeah, likewise, man. Lady Boss Nat says, "Hey AJ, happy Friday." But Croc says you're fired. So it looks like
All
I don't
right,
know,
yeah, I'm
mixed
fired.
reactions from the crew here.
I love it, man. Yeah, I love the community holding me accountable. One day off, not acceptable, right? Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah,
Man.
Danny told us a little bit about what you guys were doing, and I did see some of the AMA with Yabonks, so that was really cool. So
Yeah, no
congrats on
doubt.
all.
So let us in on some info. So this NFT raise that you all just did partnered with MDB, where does this propel EMP moving forward?
Yeah, absolutely, brother. So again, we are in an amazing spot. I mean, the timing could not have been better now, especially with the markets, coming back to life a little bit. And again, I mean, that was just pure, serendipity. But again, it all worked out well. So yeah, I mean, the idea with the NFTs, a lot of people wanted exposure to our EMP protocol, but didn't really. They got overwhelmed. And again, Lame Hillbilly can probably attest to this. Tomb Forks can be a little overwhelming. I mean, we're at the cutting edge of DeFi, and a lot of people don't know how to profit from them in the most efficient ways possible. And so, again, we had our academy. We focused on education first, but at the end of the day, like if there's a way to make this something on autopilot, like that is what really where the power is. So I talked to Danny about it with MDB. They had some amazing success with their their NFTs, the Phoenix Fire Club and the Yacht Club. And so we said, hey man, why don't we partner up? We can use this economic model to not only benefit EMP but also benefit MDB and leverage the power of both communities. So that's really how it all started, and we were able to raise about $1.5 million
Jeez.
on this raise. And then again, the vast majority of that went into creating eShare BNB LP, which is one of our farm tokens pairing. And then again, we put it in Reactor, which is essentially our version of a locked farm. And so with that, it's able to yield very, very sustainably. I mean, there's over $4 million of liquidity in that contract. And so by utilizing those funds in a very responsible manner as well, compounding more than we claim, not only are we, again, utilizing funds in the most efficient way possible, we're rewarding all the investors that are already in that contract because of all the new volume, and now we're able to extract value, but do it in a way that, again, as the largest good acting whale and compounding more than we claim, then our position is always growing as well. So theoretically, the APR will not only will also go up over time. So it's like every possible metric that we can measure is a positive to the ecosystem. And so yeah, we're really excited. And to answer your question again, we've seen not only this be an amazing yield for everybody involved, but we've also seen it help us recover peg based on the volume we generated. I mean, we were at about a 0.4 peg, and we are now at a 0.85 peg with
Wow.
$3 million of liquidity on our EMP ETH LP, which is unheard of. I mean, Tomb Forks are barely able to gain peg with $100,000 of liquidity, let alone 3 million. So again, it's been an amazing feat, and it shows the power of our community. And again, I mean, we're not at peg yet, but we feel like over the next few weeks, and by the end of the year, we're going to be in an amazing position to hit the next bull run full speed.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like you guys are the most successful Tomb Fork at this point that's gone through everything, right? Like, yeah, there's some other good ones out here. Don't get me wrong, but like, you guys have just been hitting it out of the ballpark. And when everybody is like down on this bear market, if they've been around for more than a few months, all these Tomb Forks are like, 5, 10, 20% peg, and TVL's dropped. Everyone's trying to find a way to build their way out of it, but your liquidity is so deep, and to get your TVL or your peg back up to what you said, 85% peg.
Yeah, 0.85. Yep, totally.
Yeah.
From 0.4. Yeah.
With that much liquidity is crazy to
Yeah.
me.
No doubt. Well, yeah, and I'm not here to. I'm not the kind of guy that likes to take credit, for being the best Tomb Fork or whatever. I really think we're trying to build a whole nother category, and I know that Lame Hillbilly and I have talked about this. The guys from Magic. I mean, we definitely the Tomb Fork model is extremely powerful, but I think it's even more powerful when you make some very key adjustments, to curb that runaway inflation or to add other, use case and burn mechanisms. And that's what all of us are working. All the Tomb Forks that are left are working to get to that point. And we really are going to make our own, category, I think, because, with all these changes, it really is sustainable the long term, and we've all learned from those mistakes. So, and yeah, I don't want to speak for Lame Hillbilly, but again, I think we're all on the same page, right, bro?
Yeah, I mean, 100%. You said it best. Is that we are all working towards it. The people that are still here trying are the ones we're trying to make this model work to the best of our ability, and it takes time and effort and a lot of failure. And you guys obviously are amazing at it. And I'm very happy to be able to speak with you often on it. So,
right on, bro. Well, I appreciate that. And again, I mean, MDB, Frozen Walrus, Magic. I mean, I could go on and on and on, but there are the projects that are left during this, horrendous bear market that we've seen, and the ones that just continue to grind and build. I mean, those are the teams and the projects that you want to be involved in. And again, we always say invest in teams, and I think all of us here and anybody affiliated with Alex and this community I think has proven that over time. So for sure.
I have one question for you, AJ. It looks like things really turned around with you from the chart, from a price action perspective around October 22nd, 23rd.
For sure.
What pivots did you make around those times?
Yeah, so really a lot of it was pure organic. I mean, we have a very healthy treasury, and we've always said that we weren't going to just provide exit liquidity to people by doing buybacks or trying to artificially, promote or artificially get peg back without being ready for peg. So to answer your question, though, that is really about the time that we announced our NFTs, and I think people knew what we were doing. We announced we were doing a 30, it was about 20 AMAs over 7 days and another 10 standalone videos. So, we had a huge marketing push, and everything in crypto revolves around that momentum. And I think people really saw, man, these NFTs could blow up. It could be 1.5 million coming in. We're getting a bunch of new eyeballs on EMP, and that is really the catalyst of what helped us recover to where we are. And so again, and we definitely had some OGs in the community really get behind us and get to where we are now. And again, I mean, we're not out of the woods yet, but and that's another thing. Like, I know Lame Hillbilly and I talk about this a lot. Like, regardless of peg, you're still able to earn in our ecosystems, and I think people get overly focused on peg. And obviously, we need to keep peg and have a healthy ecosystem. But if you're building other mechanisms to earn and you're not so reliant on peg, that is what truly will get us through any kind of market volatility, bear market, bull market, whatever. So yeah, does that answer, bro? I don't know if that was
Yeah.
your question. So I
Yeah,
kind of
no.
went off topic a little, but yeah.
Yeah, great answer. No, that sums it up well.
Cool.
All that baby water got Lame Hillbilly looking healthy. What does that mean?
Yeah, I don't even know what that means.
He's talking from my Ask Me Anything chat. I needed water, and my son is done drinking distilled water, and so I just took one of his jugs that he's not going to drink anymore. And so they saw me drinking that, they asked me anything, and they made a meme about it.
Bro, if baby water, if
AJ's communities is Wells, my community is a bunch of people that take pictures of me while I do Ask Me Anything.
Yeah, I love it.
Wait, so baby water is distilled water, you said?
Yeah.
Dude, I've drank only distilled water for like 7 or 8 years straight.
They just claim it as baby water because it has to be distilled pretty much. So that's all it is. They just call it Parents' Choice. It's just labeled for babies.
I distill all my own water and put it in glass jars. That's all I drink.
I drink mine usually straight out of the sink.
Dude, we got that baby skin, bro.
Yeah, man, it's giving me a glow.
Hey, what's this drama? What's this drama in the chat right now?
Yes.
All right,
Yeah,
I want to
to
tackle that. So we got Aaron. We got Aaron Shames here from Bomb Money, Peg Hub. He's also done like CZ Pegs, a bunch of projects, and he's put them all under Peg Hub. I don't know if you guys saw my Peg Hub AMA.
Yes, we did.
Well, they got sweet ass.
You only
mugs.
bring
I'll
that
tell you
mug
what.
up like 12 times per podcast.
Easiest marketing gimmick. Ship me a coffee mug. I'll be accidentally drinking out of it every video. Anyway, yeah. Aaron, are you at your camera and computer? Can you hop on here? I will DM you the invite link to get in here.
What's the issue? I don't understand. What's the
so he's arguing with LA Crypto Babe from EMP's community, and they're talking about basically the like vernacular used these days of, is it a tomb fork? And Aaron saying, well, really these are bomb forks, because he's saying he forked tomb. He was the first person to ever do it, and then he's saying everybody else forked him. So it's like kind of, he's trying to point out, historically the evolution of these seigniorage protocols in crypto and this DeFi space. And then I don't know what's going on. Now it's blowing up. And I know EMP and Bomb, they're kind of, are they like antagonistic or adversarial, AJ?
Yeah, so let me give you guys a little background here. So
this is great.
This is like, I love it.
It's a rivalry.
It is. So the whole idea behind Bomb and EMP, we launched around the same time, and yeah, my thought was, what's a good marketing ploy than to have some friendly competition. So EMP is, our branding was around Bomb, and yeah, fork or no fork, the tomb is the OG. So whatever fork we're doing is based on the actual tomb code. But my point to that is, yeah, we had come up with some branding that said, what's better than a bomb? Well, an EMP, and bomb was paid to Bitcoin at the time, and so we said we were going to pay to Ethereum, which was again doing much better in terms of like potential price appreciation. And so again, we went with the whole electric and blue theme, being EMP, while they were doing, yellow and Bitcoin and bomb. So I mean, again, there's a lot of history between EMP and bomb. They made some decisions on getting our token involved in one of their Genesis rounds without our permission, and I don't know if there's still
I remember
animosity
that.
from that, but
I
again,
remember
mean,
that.
Hey, say that again. What happened?
so they piggybacked on our success and tried to get our community involved with a launch. I guess it was P Hub. By using EMP as one of the Genesis tokens, and we had a discussion behind the scenes, and Aaron was very disrespectful. I mean, all things aside, I don't like Aaron as a person. But I mean, I'm more than happy to go on record and say that.
Oh,
And
shit!
so, yeah,
We
Shots-
got to get him on. We got to get him
Shots
on.
fired. Shots fired.
He said you don't need permission.
Come out of your mouth.
Well,
You're
hey,
the friendliest person I've ever
Brando,
I sent him the link, by the way. I
Brando
sent
did say
Aaron.
he's not
I sent
banned
Aaron
in
the link.
EMP, so
yeah, and I mean, again, I mean, we're all. I mean, I'm not into the drama. Like, it is what it is. Like, we're doing our own thing, and he's doing his own thing, and over time, we'll see what happens. But I don't know. I mean, again, I know I've my whole life I've dealt with people in business and the way people handle themselves, and I'm not a fan. So
Well,
yeah.
it is what it
let's
is,
not do
right?
the whole
This
draw.
is
I mean, it's like
this is a business environment and it's super competitive. As Danny, Austin, as you were saying earlier
But it's
about this
not,
being
though.
like
Hang
the
on,
most
hang on, hang on.
entrepreneurial space, like
Time out.
there are no barriers to entry, and like it can be
not, though.
cutthroat out here.
So let me clarify real quick, Alex. So
Yeah.
that this is a perfect example what you just said, that it's a competition. It doesn't have to be a competition, and I think Aaron wants to make it a competition. Like MDB and us and Lame Hillbilly and Grape and Magic, like all of us can work together and help rise the tide of all ships. Aaron is focused on being the egotistical or the best tomb fork, like, and so again, I mean, it doesn't help the space, like, and that's why I said I'm not into the drama. Like, we're better off all trying to make DeFi better together than making it a dick measuring contest.
But AJ, I would challenge that a little bit. Wouldn't you say that it is a bit of a competition right now, especially in a bear market? You have less market participants. You have they're very illiquid markets, so you have a lot less money floating around. So the markets become a bit rotational. We saw that with the whole liquid capital debacle, where like you saw projects like, for example, Grape Finance got hurt big time, right? When money went from there to liquid capital, right? So wouldn't you say that there is a bit of competition right now because of the liquid nature of our markets right now?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we all need to have market share, and I think B&B chain is large enough for all of us. I mean, anybody that's here, and unfortunately we've seen, it really impact the second layer chains like AVAX and Phantom, because there really isn't any volume, and even more so to your point. But no, I mean, again, we're the 1% of the 1% in DeFi. So,
Yeah.
I think your point would be a little more, important if we were still in a bull run and there's 100,000 forks that we're, competing for. But we're all so early that, even now all of us are building our positions, and it's okay. Like we always promote in our community to get to diversify into other platforms that have merit. Like, again, it's not a I'm not into the
AJ.
tribalism of only one crypto project, but they all have their own, and you get exposure to different assets in these different projects. So again, it's more of an investment choice rather than like a competition. But yeah,
AJ,
I don't know. That's how I feel.
we've had long conversations, you and me, about this, about how like and I don't know where Aaron stands on this mindset. When he comes on, he can put his position, but I'm of the same mindset as you. I don't think this is a competitive environment. It doesn't need to be. I think there's more abundance out here than any of us could actually capitalize on. And there is so much money constantly flowing into this space, even in a bear market, and more money ready to flow into the space when opportunities present themselves, that we can all just kind of like do our things, work together, and help each other out. And we're, all, like you said, all the ships are going to rise. So anyways, I come from a mindset of abundance, not scarcity. So yeah, I love that mindset you have as well.
So if I wanted to PvP the only other Toon Fork in my space, great, right? And I didn't have the relationship I have with LB, and this could go, I guess, similar, but we're on a different chain with AJ. We've all had separate conversations about the strengths and the weaknesses of these models, and I'm always for more heads on the same problem equals a better result, right? If AJ tries to do something different than me, of course that comes with innovation and stuff like that, and they are, but we also have the same core problems, right? And we're trying to solve those. And so where I side with AJ on that is that me and Grape are producing two different products, Glacier and Vinium, that will offer fee structures that we collect on and still be in the same space doing the same thing, but able to have revenue from two different sources. And we wouldn't have that if we weren't communicating in the capacity that we are. And so it comes with a little bit again, I'm also with AJ. It's like I don't do the tribalism. I think many people should diversify their portfolio and should never and it should not be a cult in your Discord either. There should be public discourse about things. Like a lot of times people try and go to my DMs and they'll say, I don't want to FUD. And I'm like, just take it to the public chat. Like I don't like those things need to happen. And so I guess my point is that there is a way for us to work together and do different things at the same time. And that's just one of the things that I've come to realize.
I want to say one thing.
100%.
I want to say one thing because I got to leave in like 8 minutes. I'm doing a workshop in the Cardinal House, so if anyone wants to go over there. But you're in that. So yeah, I'm doing a little trading workshop.
Oh.
But kind of like what Crypto Aaron is saying, the I guess the guy that's in charge of bond money, whatever. This is a really just weird statement, and I really hate this stuff. And I wish he was on here and I talked to him about it. Is like what you AJ said, and you Austin, what you said is like the cultish tribalism. That's one thing that's really like even just dissuaded me on so many projects. And what he said right here, tomb season didn't start without bomb hitting. Like, does that even matter? Like, that's such a baseless statement, right? It's like saying, it's like Microsoft coming on saying Apple didn't start until it's like, what does it matter? Like at the end of the day, we're doing market share. We're creating a product. You're creating a product. We can have friendly competition, sure, but it's like
McDonald's
when you're just like saying it's like a useless statement. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, like great. So if you feel like you have to talk about past results, it really just, stating facts, but what's the point of stating those facts other than to hype your own ego up? That's really all it is. And being in that like mindset of you can't be on here because I'm the only one. Like it's just, bro, that's disgusting. And even if your project the best, I would never even touch it.
So another point to that is that like what Aaron's doing, and Aaron, I don't know you, and when you come on, we can have another discourse here. And I don't mind doing that. But whenever you look at past, it's like you're looking for the reason that you failed is because of other people succeeding. And that's a bit odd to me. It's almost like these same innovations that we're producing in the Toon Fork scene. Of course, Walrus is in its own divot and its own failures. But the things that we're doing now or what we're doing to accrue more TVL, I was the first person to put a Walrus on a Toon Fork. It doesn't really matter. Like the failures don't lie in that. And so there's a lot of things that I don't know. I don't like that kind of thing or saying that kind of stuff. It's like it's not beneficial or it's not productive. So there he is. Aaron, what's up, man?
It's not. It's just a useless statement of just stating a fact.
Yeah, so Aaron, I don't know if you.
Well, when somebody says they started at the same time as us, and we started in November, and they didn't start till January, February the next year, that's a false statement, no?
I said around the same time, but what is your point?
I mean, I'm just correcting the fact that we didn't start at the same time.
Okay,
But what's
but
the
what is
point
your
of
point?
stating the?
Yeah, like, what does that matter? Whether we started
But
first,
the
you started
whole-
first.
So wait, so I can just make shit up and then, it's just cool?
See, this is what I mean. Like, you guys can tell what kind of person Aaron is. Like, he just
Like, I just don't get it. Like, if you're going to say something that's not true and I'm going to correct you, what's the problem with that?
okay. You started 2 months after we did. Okay, you are 100% correct. What now? What? Like, I don't understand.
Well,
What-
I just want people to know that.
But there has,
yeah.
there has to be another point of discourse, even if AJ had misspoken there and you've corrected it, and now people know. Like, what about that, or
Like, what is
1,000
the
other
beneficial
forks,
property of making that statement?
or the 1,000 other forks of your product, or whatever else? Why is that important to your? You're saying that's the point of inflection for your failure, right? Or the point of
For
why
what
you're,
failure?
or the point that you're saying is that there's
What are
1
you
million
saying, dude?
TVL instead of there's 40 million TVL. There used to be 40, now there's 1. Correct?
We have 6 protocols. That's one that we actually migrated away from. That's the only reason the TVL is at that.
Okay,
Anyways,
so you
we'll
went,
see what the TVL is at next week.
I don't know. I don't know that. I'm not-
TVL is a very overly used metric of product health. I think that liquidity and APRs, those are a little bit better measure of success, because TVL can be easily manipulated based on the supply of the token, the share token, what it's trading at a particular day. What's your liquidity at, Aaron?
Well, I mean, TVL can be easily manipulated when a lot of your code's closed source because nobody knows what's going on. Right.
Yeah, because it's proprietary and we're using it to create a
I mean,
revenue
code is
stream
law on the blockchain,
for our
right? So
protocol.
if for me to know that my money's safe, I got to be able to look at
But
the code.
see,
no?
hold up.
So you're
there's
saying
no-
there should not be proprietary software in DeFi? You saying that will never come to a point of innovation where there needs to be proprietary software?
What's that?
Are you saying there's no need for proprietary software, closed source code ever on the blockchain? You're saying you disagree with that?
100%.
Okay.
Because
That's
the only way. That's the only way you know you're safe, right? Like, I can't go to the police if I lose my money, right? So the only way I know I'm safe is if I look at the code.
Sure. I understand where you're coming from today. I was just making sure that was.
But you know
Code is law,
the
right?
problem
That's-
with all this is the problem with what's going on right now is I haven't heard one single thing of why bomb money is unique versus because I'm passionate about XYZ. It's you going and attacking EMP
Well,
because he said that they
I was
started
correcting false
a month
statements.
late. Like what? But you're going at it in such a confrontational, like you wouldn't be like, "Hey, man, no." You're
this guy came out and said
like,
he doesn't like me for no
it's
reason.
even in
like,
the tonality of how you're.
bro,
Well, he
it's-
didn't say he didn't like you
I'm
for no
not
reason.
crying.
He
What's
said-
the point,
it's
man?
flattering that so many people forked bomb. What are you talking about, man? These guys are all just like
But you were,
fanboys.
you were speaking about it, but that it was, again, I don't know you. I've never met you. I'm just trying to get your point across. I'm trying to better articulate.
No,
what
I've
it
never
is
met
you're
you
doing.
either, and my initial impression is exactly how you've been acting in the chat and
I-
now
All
here.
right, well,
in
listen,
the
I've,
video.
I've had long conversations with Aaron privately, like video chats, and I've had a great impression of him. Just to throw that out there, he's always been very nice to me.
Yeah,
very
when I'm getting
straightforward.
attacked, yeah, like
Yeah.
I'm getting attacked, and people are saying false things. I'm standing up for it. Like, I'm saying what the truth is. Like, if you guys don't want me to correct something that's factually false, I guess I'll just leave and shut up. Like, I don't know. Like,
No,
I do think there might be a more, I don't know, like political way to kind of like build that bridge, because I do feel like there's a tension between you and AJ for
Wait,
whatever
Alex,
reason.
what-
I don't know what happened. Like I think it might be like interesting if at some point in the future, like there's a olive branch or like a building of a bridge and a repairing of that, because you guys are both big influential figures in this space, especially in our like space in a space, the Seniorage protocols on DeFi. So
But
it's-
Alex, don't
yeah.
you think like Aaron's in the chat? People are talking about him. He doesn't like what he hears. He thinks that some of the things are wrong. factually incorrect, of course he's going to come in kind of hot, right? Like I think we have to give him a little room for that. I think I would have come in kind of hot
Brando
myself.
talks shit.
Oh, I agree.
If I was in
I don't know
If
how
I was in here from the
attack
beginning,
way.
it would have been different, right? Like I came in being attacked and given false statements, right? So
Well, Brando attacks me every day, so
Yeah.
He does. He really
That's just a
does.
Monday. That's just a Monday.
like, trust that I actually am coming from a place of understanding. He
Bro,
talks shit about
Brando-
me every day. You know,
Bro, Brando
let's get-
calls
let's get
Walrus
Brando in
shares
here.
dead like on a daily.
Yes,
Yeah.
let's get Brando in here. Let's make this. Let's get extra
oh, now
crazy
Brando's
with
talking
it.
shit about me.
The-
Oh,
the
man.
Of course he is.
It was
man's
getting
had-
better and better.
the man's had a heart for like 6 months now. So I actually don't know what he does every day. But
Hey,
He loves.
hey
I
guys,
think he
I have
secretly
to hop
loves
out
you,
of it. It was great
LHB.
speaking to y'all.
This guy's calling me a known in DeFi. Like, I don't know. I'm going to speak, on Tuesday, alongside
saw
the
that.
co-creator of Ethereum, all these big names. Like, I don't know what you're talking about, dude. Like, how many eyes are going to be on Bomb next week? It's going to be nutty. Like,
Is that like the Web3 conference?
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm speaking there both days.
Where's
We're
that at?
Nice.
We're the innovative sponsor. We're one of the top sponsors there.
Awesome.
Where's that?
Thousands of wealthy investors going to hear about Bomb for the first time.
That's good.
That's awesome.
And the fact that we're working with Anchor on Bomb Chain. So,
And Bomb Chain
Nice.
is on BSC, or
no,
it's its
Bomb
own-
Chain's
it's
a
its
native.
own
It's
chain.
its own chain.
Layer 1.
Yeah. We're working with Anchor on it. I already paid him and everything. So,
Well, good, man. I think that it's easy to get hot when people say the wrong thing in the space, and it happens to me all the time. People say shit that I never said or misconstrue things. And listen, I understand it, man. Hopefully, you and AJ can mend it, but it looks like there's some people that are just going to be in the space that are incompatible, right? There's plenty of people that I'm incompatible
like I've seen a bunch of videos with you, man. Like, honestly, you come off like a really genuine, nice guy. So, it's nice to meet you, man.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to attack you. I don't know you, so I had no idea about anything. I was just going off of the chats and everything that was being said. So, it hopefully.
Well, it's good to meet you, brother.
Am I weird? I like everybody here. That like
Oh, you're an influencer. It doesn't.
I know all of you behind the scenes. I think you're all great people.
You don't have
Yeah.
a say in this.
Hey, let's go,
Not,
Brando.
not really, dude. Because I don't give a shit really. At the end of the day, like there's so many projects out here and stuff like that. Like I'm pretty picky about the projects that I work with and represent on my platform. So like
You're super picky.
yeah, I'm super picky. And I think you're one of the top dudes out here, Austin, Lame Hillbilly. I think you're like one of the most transparent people out here with some of the most integrity I've seen. Like you've done stuff for your investors behind the scenes nobody even knows about, right? In terms of making them whole, helping people out and stuff like that. Like you do stuff that's like awesome. So like
I can show
am
my
happy to
personal
work
wallet.
with you, right?
I can show my personal
Like,
wallet buying millions of dollars of Bomb to pump the peg. I mean, because I know Brando's saying that I dump peg tokens. Like I could literally go on PooCoin wallet tracker right now, share my
Listen.
screen, and show you guys millions of dollars of Bomb buys just to improve peg.
You got just don't take the bait. All right, Brando's baiting you right now, and you just have to keep moving. I've been on live streams with this man where he attacked my protocol for hours. You just keep moving, okay? Because if you know what your intention is, right, and then you are able to represent that to your community, that's all that really matters, regardless if Brando.
Yeah.
says
Well,
this
why do
or
you think he's
that.
banned from my Discord for the last 6 months?
He's never been banned. He's never been banned from mine. I still have a special place in my heart for Brando for pumping and dumping my peg for 100,000.
Oh yeah, this guy's trying to manipulate my peg every day. Fuck. I got wrecked him. I got wrecked him. He got pissed off.
It's so crazy out here though. Like people out here with a lot of money can just like do that. Brando's an interesting character because he'll tell you he's doing it where there's going to be, 50 other whales behind the scenes, not saying anything, doing that stuff that won't say anything about it. So Brando's an interesting case study and interesting character. And by the way, Brando, I will do some shirtless late night calls with you soon. Again, once I get caught up on all my shit since I got back from Dubai.
So Aaron, since I've only been in the space for 10 months, right? And I've launched what I call a tomb fork. And so let's get back to your point. You're saying I didn't fork Tomb.
Oh no. Let me rephrase.
Okay.
EMP forked Bomb's front end factually.
Okay.
Tomb took their code offline, so I'm assuming most newer forks are Bomb forks. I don't know who you forked because Tomb took their code offline quite a bit after we forked them.
Well,
So they're
I've been running for a while. I know I forked Tomb. Just
yeah,
because
no,
the
definitely, yeah.
verbiage in it, like I've seen the code. I know that it's all of it looks the same because I've seen a billion forks and it all has cemetery, masonry, a bunch of the.
Well, I renamed that. I renamed all that stuff in mine, but yeah.
Yeah. So like that's what my code contains. So I have a Tomb fork.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
100%.
And I actually don't even like Tomb fork. I like the Synorge model because I feel like
Yeah.
if you're trying to change the model, then you can't keep calling it a Tomb fork because then I feel like you're almost like weighting it down. But anyway, I just wanted to get that clarification because I saw that and I was like, I'm pretty sure I didn't fork bomb, but I don't know.
Well, I was being a little bit maybe I overspoke when I said that. Let's say that.
Okay. All right.
But since
Alright.
Tomb took their code offline, I mean, our code is still open source.
They took their code offline a couple months ago. You're saying?
Yeah, it's been more than a couple months. Harry was really pissed that people kept forking Tomb, so he took the
I
code
know
offline.
Magic got a cease and desist letter, or they
No
called
way.
it by name. They called
Really?
it by name, like when the bull market was really hitting and like
Hmm.
all the Tomb forks are coming out because they're on Phantom. They
Yeah,
actually got Avery can actually speak to it probably because it was him and Jimmy, and they were given a letter stating specifically Magic and these other forks are going to get sued.
what? So wait, let's go. Brando asked when will bomb peg? Bomb is at 0.2 peg right now at 45 or 50 cents or 40 cents, something like that. It was 1 cent a couple of weeks ago because we migrated everybody to a new protocol. So it's up at like 40x. It's going to peg next week. Not financial advice, but this event, every single guy there could peg it with their pocket change. And everyone that we've told our story to fucking loves it. So
Yeah,
Hey,
I'd
Aaron.
love to try.
Aaron, can I ask you a question?
ask me anything you
What-
want, man.
Why do you and again, like I'm not trying to start shit again, but I just now that we're on in a public space, I gotta know the answer to this. Why do
Ask me anything you
you
want.
why do you always want to create a new protocol or like like why don't you just focus on the original goal and like make that the best it can be? Like it was first it was bomb, then it was PegHub,
Because
then it's like
successful businesses,
8,000 other forks
because
of
successful
your own
businesses, they
project.
have to pivot sometimes, right? Like,
No, I
in-
get that. Yeah, no doubt. Pivoting is one thing, but creating an entirely new protocol like again and again and again, I don't get it, man.
well, like obviously, like you run your own protocol, so you're not familiar with what we're up to. So I could fill you in super quick, elevator pitch. But we're launching not only Bomb Chain but Bomb mobile app, which is incredibly easy to use. It's meant for getting new users into crypto. Single staking, fixed APRs. Those funds are all going into all of our seniorage protocols. And
okay, but if you have an amazing chain, a badass chain, but nobody builds on it, what's the point?
no,
For the
but the
same
thing is,
reason that
Bomb.
Zoom-
The thing is, our Bomb mobile app, it is powered by Bomb Chain. This is single staking with transparency and decentralization. That's what Bomb Chain is going to do. So we get the traction from Bomb mobile app. Once we have liquidity and we have traction and we have users on Bomb Chain, the builders will come. This is the hardest part of a new chain is getting that traction. We already have that figured out.
Okay, well, I disagree. I mean, I think that you could
Disagree
build
about about what?
because the value in a blockchain is people building on top of it. That is the hardest part, is bringing developers and projects and everything on chain. Tomb, AVAX, Phantom, those are all perfect examples that have way more marketing and budget and influence than Bomb does. What makes you think you guys are going to be able to accomplish that when all those other
This
side
is an
chains?
attack. I'm sorry. This is not a question. This is an attack. I'm sorry.
No, I'm asking you, how are you going to accomplish it?
I just told you. We have the Bomb mobile app, which has extreme ease of use. It's actually workable right now, although Anchor is not ready with our production chain yet. So I'm just using a chain that I spun up myself, but it's working right now. So people can single stake their tokens. They can create a wallet. It is super simple. It's basically transparency. It's basically a Celsius without the fucking Ponzi. Like people can see what's going on. It's public, right? So those inflows we're going to put to work in our seniorage protocols. So Celsius had what, $6 billion locked up? We need like not even $1 million to peg every single token we have. Peanuts in crypto. Peanuts. How do we get traction on Bomb Chain? Easy. Everybody that uses the Bomb mobile app, it's powered by Bomb Chain. Simple.
So most users doing transactions on Bomb Chain would be using mobile.
Yeah. that's how we'll gain the traction at the beginning. That's
staking.
Oh no, we're gonna have validators and staking and all that as well, like for BOM itself, right? But yeah, no, like our primary use case is gonna be easy on ramp for crypto, easy transfers onto BOM chain. Easier than bridging because bridging is intimidating for new users. So, we've got that all figured out already, and that's gonna make all of our protocols healthy. BOM chain and the BOM mobile app ties everything together. It literally does. I mean, and I don't want to sound like a prick, but I don't really care if you believe me or not. Time is going to tell, right? It's going to show. So,
well, sure. I mean, eventually, that's what really happens. Is
honestly, I want everyone to succeed. Like, talk to anybody in my community. That's all I ever say is like, I don't want to win. I want everybody to win, right? But I even said earlier, I like AJ. I got no problem with AJ.
When EMP and BOM money partnership.
I knew you were going to say that.
Come on. What do I have to do to make that happen? I will work tirelessly behind the scenes, putting something together for you guys.
I don't know. I come from a point of like, fool me once, shame on me, fool me twice, shame on you. And Aaron and I, we tried to do a partnership. We tried. We had a meeting behind closed doors. Our team was there. We wanted some more transparency. We didn't want to feel rushed into a partnership that we knew nothing about before 24 hours before the Genesis went live. And when we finally had that discussion, it was BOM, BOM's gift to Green Earth for allowing EMP to be involved, and that's not how I do business.
No,
so
that's
just how it was.
For one, we don't need permission to peg to someone. If I've had people approach BOM and say, "Hey, we're thinking about pegging to BOM." I said, "Fuck, go for it. That's awesome."
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Why the hell would I not want someone to do that? Right?
Yeah.
It's creating additional utility and demand on their token, right? So it's like, and for one, you don't need permission.
No, right? I'm not asking for permission. And
you're saying you didn't give us permission, so apparently we needed your permission.
No, Alex asked about a partnership. So
what partnership?
No, I'm saying I'm pontificating. I'm out here like smoking my peace pipe, just like, guys, when are we gonna come together? And when am I gonna see an Aaron Shames and AJ Brockman like partnership? It doesn't have to be like, we're best friends in the whole world, but like, will there ever be a chance for an amicable, working relationship to kind of, let everybody kind of put water under the bridge, put the next foot forward, and kind of grow as a whole state?
What's going on with this Giancarlo fellow? He is upset that we are speaking about anything other than what he wants us to speak about. Add another person to this meaningless conversation. Brandon joined. Like, dog, relax. Either watch the content or don't, my dude.
No, he said that he likes Aaron and dislikes him too. He's trying to.
That comment cracked me up, by the way. That's an interesting So everybody watching, by the way, like this video because this is gaining traction fast. We got a lot of people watching on 5 different platforms right now. So if you hit
if you're not subscribed to all 3 of us, please subscribe. I
want everybody talking about this tomorrow in all the DeFi servers.
Well, I don't think either of them want the drama. I think that again, it's just 2 people that aren't going to work well in the space, and there's history that maybe time will mend, but it doesn't have to work. Like, Aaron can build his own project and do everything that he wants to do, and this is the beautiful thing about DeFi. And AJ can do everything that he wants to do, and both can become successful entirely differently. So
I wish them the best. I wish all you guys with products the best. I got nothing against anyone. But
yeah, I mean, don't forget the real enemy is really like Gary Gensler and like Elizabeth Warren, and like those are the real enemies, right?
Or the guys that are rugging people and making us look bad, right? Like
that's true. Yeah. Great point.
I've been doxxed from day one. I've been transparent from day one. People know my wallets. I got nothing to hide.
And that's what I love about DeFi and like doing this whole thing where I have a platform to bring entrepreneurs on is if they're genuine to me and they show that they really are trying meaningfully to do something interesting, whether it's an experiment, whether it's a straight up clone of another project, they just want to run it their own way. I'm totally cool with that as long as they meet my like conditions of like, talk to me, let me know who you are as a person. And then, I'll let you put your thing on my platform to talk about it in front of people. Now, does that mean all these projects are going to succeed? I have no idea. I'm not an expert on, like, I'm not clairvoyant. If I was, I'd be a billionaire by now if I knew which projects would succeed before I talked about them on my platform. But as long as like Aaron, you were so fast to be like, yeah, let's hop on a video call right now and talk. And I talked to you for like hours face to face. So I'm like, dude, I'll absolutely talk about your projects with you. You can like represent it. I'm not going to pump or shill your stuff or whatever, but like I'll report on it and like let people make their own decisions. AJ was the exact same way. Austin, you're the exact same way. But like, it's when the people who are out here who won't even show their face to me that want to come on my channel. And I'm like, no, because if you rug and then you change your name and you change your identity, you start a new project 4 months later, and then you try to get on my channel again, you know, like AJ was kind of saying, like the fool me once thing. If somebody shows me their face and then they fool me, okay, cool. I'm never doing business with them again. They're out of my like inner circle. Now, AJ, you said that in terms of Aaron. What do you think he did that was so like that was like fooling you?
I want to hear this too. Good question.
Yeah, no, I mean, again, I there's a lot that has transpired over the last 8 months.
We got
you know,
lots of
and
time.
well, I don't, so I don't really. Again, I don't want to be a plunger and bring up old shit.
Well,
So
I mean,
we can just
you're claiming things, so let's hear it.
no. I mean, I'm not claiming anything. I'm just saying based on
Wait a
the
second.
nail. Are you gonna let me
Did
finish?
you not claim that there was numerous things that transpired? Then that's the
There-
reason that you don't like me?
There was 100%, but
Okay, so
again,
can we hear them, please?
oh, Aaron, you're funny, man.
I'm not funny, bro. I just want to hear what I did. I mean, if you're gonna make claims against me, I want to hear what I did.
I'm curious now too. I love all you guys, but I just want to know what's going on. I mean,
I never did no harm to anybody. I want to hear this.
I'm not gonna get into it because it doesn't
Because I didn't do
accomplish.
anything. That's why.
It doesn't accomplish anything. Let me answer the question that was on deck. The question on deck was,
Okay.
why did I say fool me once, shame on you, fool me
Okay,
twice,
so
shame
he's
on
making
me.
baseless claims against me and doesn't want to say anything about it. All right.
Are you gonna let me talk, or are you just gonna keep interrupting
Oh
me?
man, like how you gonna? All right, go ahead and talk, AJ. Go for it.
All right. So again, I already kind of went over this, but we were approached by Bomb again about with 24 hours notice on them utilizing our platform. At the time, we had an amazing amount of momentum. We were one of the only Tomb Forks like killing it at the time, and I felt it was a play to take advantage of the momentum our community had and potentially hurt our investors by getting them involved in this Genesis round. At the time, I didn't know Aaron that well, so I didn't know if he was in a rug. I didn't know what the fuck he could do. So my due diligence and my obligation to everybody at EMP is to make sure that we don't put a partnership together that could potentially jeopardize our investors. And so everything was super rushed. Again, 24 hours.
You know why
Aaron
it was
said,
rushed? Because you
Okay.
said you needed your whole team together for the conversation, and then only one of you guys spoke. So we had
Yeah,
to wait 3 days for a conversation when really only one of your guys was even talking.
It doesn't matter. Everything we do is a team decision at EMP.
It's a team
Whether
decision,
it
but only
takes-
one person talked and made any decisions.
That's irrelevant. I mean, I'm not going to get on.
But
and
don't
speak
call
for
it 24
somebody
hour
else.
rushed if you got to pull a team together to have one guy talk.
No, because it's a team effort. I'm
Okay,
not
whoever
going to make a
keeps posting the
decision.
Let's Go Brando comments, like honestly, I'm dropping out of here if you keep putting that shit up there. This guy's just trying to troll me.
Brother, you got to keep moving. I'm telling you, you're giving him what he wants.
I know I'm ignoring it, but like, stop putting the shit on the screen. It's fucking trash.
That's just how Brando is. He calls my shit dead every day. The man.
I love
an
Brando.
idiot.
I love Brando.
He's a fucking idiot,
A
let's
bunch
be
of-
real.
he's funny, man. I
funny,
understand. I understand AJ's position that he felt rushed and at a pivotal moment in his project,
and
Something that we don't need
instead of-
permission for, by the
no,
way.
and he didn't
No,
have
I'm
enough
not
time to get
saying
to. And it sounds like he
Base
didn't have enough
pegged
time
the
to get to
tomb.
know you. You know,
Base,
I mean,
Base pegged the tomb, and Tomb was fucking ecstatic. Did they ask for permission? Nope.
No, it's not about.
but it sounds like he didn't have enough time to get to know you personally. Like it sounded like he wanted to kind of talk with you, hang out behind the scenes for a couple of weeks, really get to know you as a person before making like an official partnership
Nah.
for his whole community. That's what it sounds like he just said. And I
Yeah,
get that,
and
right? Like,
and
We
not
don't ban
even
we
not
don't
even
ban
a couple
anyone
of
except
weeks.
for Brando.
We're talking 3 days. Literally 24-hour notice. We're pegging to you. You like it or not. If you're not into it, fuck you. That's exactly how the conversation
Yeah,
went.
I
So
mean, give
you
or
know,
take, I'll agree with that.
okay, there you go. I mean,
Yeah,
common
that's not how I
ground.
do
we
Common
business.
don't
ground.
need
This
your
is
permission.
progress. This is progress.
We don't need your permission, right? So
Nobody's asking for permission, but
I
I'm
was
not
being nice
gonna.
to let you know.
Again, I think everybody can see the kind of person Aaron is, and it's alright if we don't like each other. If he likes me, great. I don't like him, and that's the way it goes. So,
All right, cool.
I'm gonna get me,
I don't need you to like me.
AJ, Aaron, and Brando. Everybody come to Florida. Brando, bring the moonshine, and we're all just gonna like sit around the campfire, singing songs, telling stories, and hashing this out till we're all buddies.
Sounds good to me. Let's get fucked up.
All right.
Yes, that's the spirit. Yes.
I haven't asked me anything in 10 minutes. I got to prep up for it. Thank you guys for having me. I'll try and join next week if you'll have me. AJ,
Yeah, I want you to come back with Zara. You and Zara need to come on and talk about the partnership you guys are working out.
Sure.
I think it's awesome.
AJ, I love you. Aaron, it was nice to meet you.
love you
luck.
too, brother.
Great meeting you, man.
Good luck in your thing. The what is it? You're the crypto talk.
Yep, my event coming up.
Yeah, your event. Good luck on that. And everybody have a good day.
Thank you, sir. Wish you all the
See you, Lame
best.
Hillbilly.
All
See
right,
you,
then,
buddy.
Hillbilly. Later, bro.
DeFi said, "I need to take you guys on a mushroom journey and let you ride alligators on my farm." I think that's a great idea. Those who trip together. I don't know if that's even a saying, and there's no end to that. But yeah, let's do some mushrooms together, guys. I think it's a
That'd
great
be great.
idea. Yeah.
That's a fantastic idea.
Not medical advice or financial advice. Anybody listening, don't do drugs, kids. But yeah, man.
Yeah.
I only do uppers, man. I need stuff that helps me work faster.
Bro, I got the whole pot of it right here, man. It's literally like, I feel ya.
Oh yeah, that mug is big and badass, man.
It's my favorite mug, dude. I can fit so much coffee in here. It's dangerous though, because I'm like, oh, I'll just have 1 cup, but it's like 3 cups of coffee, and then I'm just like, oh, I gotta get on camera again. I haven't slept all night, and
Okay,
I love this,
shot,
man.
but how many mugs did EMP send you?
I believe they're in progress of sending me right now one, right?
I'm just messing around, guys. I'm just messing around.
Hey, Aaron, I have a question for you, man. We
Sure,
were talking
brother.
about this earlier. I don't know if you caught it, but I was asking about everything happening with Ripple, the SEC, Gary Gensler, the fact that you don't really know the rules, what's a security, what's not. As a developer, as someone that actually has a project, how do you feel about this? How closely are you watching the whole Ripple thing? And how are you concerned? Do you feel that's going to be fine? What are your thoughts?
That's an amazing question. But so to answer that, I'm actually going to deflect that because I hired a COO that just came from traditional finance, high-end position in a bank for 15 years. He handles everything to do with regulation. He's setting up a corporation in SVG for us right now. He's on top of that shit, so I don't have to be, because that's not my strength. So I hire him for my weaknesses, right? So, so
okay,
I'd love to get him to his response on that, but I wish I could answer you better. But
is that your new CEO or COO
COO.
that you hired? What
Yeah.
was that, 2 months back? Or dude, time is crazy in DeFi. I don't know what
He was
is going
working
on.
part-time at first while he was waiting for his 3
Yeah.
months to finish at his existing position, but now he's full-time for the last 6 weeks or so, or 2 months maybe.
Very cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you gotta
that's-
hire your weaknesses.
yeah.
I got a lot of weaknesses. I can admit that, right?
I need to learn how to delegate, you guys.
Delegating is the
AJ,
toughest thing,
Aaron,
man.
both you guys are good delegators. I'm
not a good delegator. I'm working on it, but it's tough, man.
It's hard for me to let go of the reins, especially for a business that's so personality driven. I don't know what I should outsource and if I could trust anybody to do it the way I do it.
Tough,
So it's
man.
I'll just drink the coffee and I'll stay up and just try to do it all myself.
It doesn't scale though. You have to start delegating.
It doesn't scale. No, you're right. Yeah.
You need a different cameraman, editor, somebody to work your socials, everything except for being in the video is what you got to delegate.
Yeah, because I answer every single person on Discord, YouTube, Twitter,
Yeah,
Telegram.
You got to hire for that.
oh, man. But they don't do the smileys the way I do it. Like
Yeah.
people would know, man. People would know.
That's why when you get great staff, you got to do anything to keep them, right? And like
That's true.
the team that I've built now, like, man, unbelievable guys. Like I've gone through a couple COOs. Rob is here to stay. He is incredible.
Yeah, he's a smart dude. That document he put together was
the strategy doc and
man, that was like top notch.
Something you don't see in DeFi. Like you just don't see that kind of quality in DeFi.
Yeah, that's something like I come from the corporate world, and that's something you'd see at like a big business, right? That you don't see in DeFi too often, where you see people literally just copying and pasting other people's white papers and doing a find and replace on the name. So it was cool to see that level of market research and strategy, contingency plans.
Actually, what we're doing right now actually is we just spent a bunch of money doing a survey for barriers to entry for crypto, right? So I don't even care I'm talking about this. Guys, feel free to copy this. We already started the process, but we're surveying 1,000 people just to get their say on if they're in crypto, what's their level of knowledge on crypto, what's the barriers to entry to crypto. We're going to put out press releases with those stats. Everyone's going to have to cite the source. We're paying for the data. So the data is ours. Press release, our last press release went viral. It was crazy. We covered in over 400 different news outlets. That was the partnership with Anchor, was the last press release. But yeah, so it not only is this invaluable data to us to know what are the barriers to entry, because that's what we're trying to break down, because the target market is a lot bigger when it's the whole world versus just advanced DeFi users, right? So that's what we're going after. We're looking at the big picture. We're looking to be the biggest staking platform by 2025, and we're ahead of schedule on that. So that's what
we need to fork Jesse Eccles' original Titano video, because that video pulled so many people into DeFi, including myself. And I'm like, man, I've been thinking about it lately because I want to bring more people into DeFi in a responsible way, obviously. But everybody's going to be coming in here eventually in some exposure, whether they realize it or not. And it's like, I don't know. There's something about bringing people in, holding their hands, and we're so early. Everybody here right now, especially all the players in the space that are trying to do something cool, do their own thing and build something. We're all you guys are all really great entrepreneurs, by the way. I'm getting there. I'm going to get there soon, but you guys are already established. You've done awesome things. Even Enrique, you as well. You're a very successful entrepreneur and trader. And it's all these new people coming in here. Time slows down in DeFi, right? So a week is a month is a year. It's going in the hyperbolic time chamber in Dragon Ball Z, right? You spend 24 hours in there, and that's training for a whole year. And that's what I think DeFi does, is it allows us to kind of advance ourselves and learn and grow much quicker than we would in our old habits and patterns of life and our 9-to-5s or businesses, whatever we did before this, because it's so fast here.
Let's talk about this comment here, because this is a great comment. Leaders need to be jack of all trades, then hire specialists around them. That's me my whole life, right? Always been an entrepreneur. When I discovered smart contracts and crypto, obviously I knew that was, it basically combined everything that I'm passionate about and everything that I'm good at. And, obviously I love finding opportunity, right? So but I've been an entrepreneur my whole life. So I learned what I have to learn to get something done. I don't try to be a master at everything, because you can't be, right? It's impossible. So, but yeah, then hiring the specialists around you, right? That's peasant for hire. Great comment, brother.
Yep. Yeah. So I think this space is great. Dude, Croc, you too, man. Yeah, he got us. He got us good.
This space is not only great, this is a once in all of mankind opportunity.
Yeah.
Literally, I made bomb in a weekend, and it had 40 million TVL in a week or 2 weeks, whatever it was. What other industry in the world does that happen? People work their whole lives, their ass off their whole lives, and they don't see that. This crypto is fucking insane, right?
Oh,
yeah.
Truly insane.
I honestly feel anybody that's not in the space, they're missing out. This is the industry to be in. This is not something that happens all the time. It doesn't happen ever.
And even if you're not an active participant, but just knowing what's going on, how it's evolving, you don't have to be all in on any project or anything out here. I think that's crazy personally. But I don't know, I dipped my toes in a couple different projects with some disposable income that I set aside for recreation and gambling, essentially. And it just like kind of snowballed from there. And I don't know. It's just the gains I've seen out here are crazy. Like Brando, if Brando's still listening, that man is a wild success story of somebody getting into DeFi without
he doesn't
much of
like
a
me because I wrecked him so many times because I'm trying to manipulate my pegs. So he'd buy it up just to make it print, and I'd fucking sell it down on him and fuck him, right? Just because, like, producing an unnatural fucking print is not good for the protocol. If you're under peg, you shouldn't be printing, right? The system, we don't need more peg tokens if we're under peg. So artificially,
what a crazy environment this is for you to like that thing. What you just said right there is so wild to like anybody listening.
No, I'm protecting our users by doing that, but the side effect is that Brando lost money. Right?
It's what a crazy space we're in.
Because I saw it over and over again, right? He would just dump the tokens right after the print. So what are we doing the print for exactly, right? He's pumping the peg to get a print, then dumping all the tokens right after. So basically, he's fucking everybody but himself. So what do? I sell into him. So we don't print, and he loses money. Now he's mad at me.
And you're not the only one who has done that. I've seen other protocol leaders use their treasury to try to.
I didn't use my treasury. I used my money.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, that's a thing out here when you're running a project. Like you have to kind of adapt and deal with whales and big players, especially in a low liquidity space like this. Where one person can move stuff, and that movement can really frighten community sentiment and cause a panic sell-off is like the death knell of any kind of seigniorage protocol, rebasing, any crypto project, except for MDB. Apparently, Daniel come on here and be like, "No, panic sell-off's the healthiest thing that can happen for us. Bring it on. We'll be 500% plus collateralized, and we'll be way better off for it." So, except for like maybe him and a few other people. But so I don't know, man. It's a weird dance that project owners do with large traders that are trying to capitalize on any opportunities they see. And we see this all the time, even with programmers writing MEV bots, maximum extractable value bots out here in DeFi. You can deploy a smart contract and it can go arbitrage across multiple DEXs and make money all day. You can front run people. You can do sandwich attacks, you know what I'm saying? And that's just an opportunity, and we all have to kind of deal with that. And the DEXs have to kind of adapt around it. So it's like an interesting dance everybody out here is doing with each other. But at the end of the day, there's so much money flowing into the space because we are so early to it that no matter basically what happens, if you don't blow up your account, and you kind of, not financial advice, guys. I don't know. This could be terrible advice, but I do think next bull run, if you have some exposure out here, it's going to play out very well, as long as you're not like pigeonholed in one thing that you're like, you fell in love with, and then, their business fails or whatever. But, so just
I have a question for both AJ and Aaron. What are you guys most, you don't have to answer, but what do you have as far as investment wise, the most in crypto outside of your own project?
I answer every question. First of all, there's no question you'll ask me that I will say no to. So
I like it.
Good.
What do I have outside of my own project? I got like 15, 20 grand in compound, maybe. 0.1% is outside of bomb.
Okay. What about you, AJ?
That's how much I believe in my project.
Yeah, so I built a multi-million-dollar portfolio outside of EMP, and I use, we did EMP much differently as far as the way we launched. We had a Genesis round that was closed, and we made a commitment to all of our community and between all the founders that we would, hold that liquidity and not dump it or take profit, too soon. And that's really what helped us get off the ground. But outside of EMP, again, I have one of my largest holdings is Splinterlands. That's a big play to earn game. Yeah. A big play to earn game. One of the OGs over there. And we have a huge partnership with them where they actually take EMP as a form of payment. So it's a use case for EMP. Again, being a large player in Splinterlands myself, we have a treasury to treasury commitment as well, where that EMP is then either bought back on our own, or again, they utilize it to yield in our own in our platform. So in other words, it's a mutually beneficial agreement that takes a lot of sell pressure off EMP and gives our community another way of earning, outside of our farms, or detonator style contracts. So that's the big one. But yeah, I mean,
So wait,
I'm
so what?
diversified all over.
Okay, so your main ones are EMP, Splinterlands, and what was that last one?
I mean, I'm an original drip whale. I mean, there's a ton of protocols that I'm in. I mean, again,
Nice.
I'm in probably 25 different projects.
And did you have like a smashing success with a small handful of those 25 that really helped take you to the next level?
I mean, really, this is what we preach at EMP a lot. It's not necessarily like the 100x, or a couple, 10, 20, 30, 100x's. It's just being in the market and yielding. Like I've never held Bitcoin. I've never held, large bags of ETH. I've always invested in protocols that actually produce a yield. So I got really lucky with that early on. And again, just being early on some of the projects. I've been in cryptos for like 7 years. So I scaled in. Obviously, I wish I would have invested heavier, in the beginning of that. But over the last 4 years, yeah, I mean, I invest in teams, that really build, no matter what market conditions are, and focus on yield producing assets, not just, trying to swing trade.
Yeah, I'm in a similar boat as you, where I'm trying to go for like yield producing, reward producing plays, rather than being like a TA trader like Enrique here and Brando. Like, they're both excellent TA traders, where I don't have the emotional discipline. I've been trading for 14 years, maybe 16 years now, but I've traded, I've read books, I've different methodologies, options, leverage, like you name it, crypto, stocks, forex, doesn't matter, binary options. I've tried it all. I learned I'm a degen gambler at the end of the day, right? Like, I'm too emotional. I don't have the discipline like you guys. So the yields producing stuff really is easier for me, where if I find teams that I believe in, I have some level of trust that they're not just going to rug it overnight. And then if I sit in there long enough and I get rewards and then get my initial back plus some, those are generally my best plays out here over the past few years.
So despite AJ shitting on me for no reason, I got something nice to say about them. I gotta give them props for that latest partnership with the X Perps or whatever they're doing. It's single stake in EMP. It seems like a very one-sided deal. You guys got the best end of that, so props for that, man. Good job.
On which MDB, the EMP MDB deal, or
no, the single stake EMP they got going with where they get paid in X Perps, I think it's called.
Oh.
Yeah, we have another partnership that we announced about 2 days ago, since we discontinued our eShare BNB rewards. And yeah, it was a good deal. I mean, they're large investors in the protocol. They want to see EMP succeed. So yeah, it was very beneficial for us, obviously, rewarding, a token that we didn't have to dilute our eShare emissions.
Good shit, brother. Nice. I can say nice thing.
Cool. My plan worked. We're all friends now.
How many people are expected at this conference next week, Aaron?
I mean, tickets are $1,000, so not a ton. There's going to be at least 1,000 there, from what I've heard. We're the innovative sponsor, which I think is like tier 2 or tier 3. So I think like the top sponsor spot was like 75 grand. We're like at like the 15 grand level. But
nice. That's not bad.
We're bringing a Lambo there. I'm talking both days. We're going to be giving away free staking positions, so we're going to steal the show, right? So I just actually talked with the guys that are on the panel that I'm going to be speaking with, and man, like, they're insane. Like, I'm the noob in the group, put it that way. I've only been in crypto for like, under 2 years. Like, these guys they're seasoned veterans. I mean, I'm speaking alongside an Ethereum co-creator, right? So yeah,
it's wild.
Yeah. I met the president of the United States.
Yeah. What
But
the
I-
hell? That's
It's like,
crazy.
yeah, this is like Aaron just wants to go on and on about what he's gonna, do.
I was
get
asked
in
a
front of
question,
and-
man.
Yeah. All right.
I was fucking asked, man. I was asked a question and I answered it, and now this guy's saying I'm going on about shit.
Yeah. No.
What the
Yeah.
fuck
We were
is
asking
wrong with
about
this guy,
Enrique
man?
was just asking about the
This
the
guy's got
conference
fucking
and
something
stuff.
wrong with him, man. Like, I don't know, man.
All right. Well, I was surprised to hear that you've only been in crypto 2 years. So I just assumed you've been in crypto much longer. So that's really cool that you already have a project after
I'm a
that
quick
long.
learner.
AJ, how long have you been in crypto, man?
7 years and full time about 4.
7 years, so 15. So okay, both okay. So way before 17, 18 when most of us came along. I didn't get into crypto till like late 17. What about you, Alex?
2015, 2016, I started trading Bitcoin and Ethereum and XRP and messing around on Binance and Coinbase and stuff like that. And then I started writing JavaScript bots using Node.js to use Binance's API to try to auto trade some of my TA strategies, so it would take the emotion out of it. But it was still so manual, and oh god, I hit run on one of my bots that I coded, and I was like, this worked on all my back testing. I'm gonna be rich. I stayed up for days writing this bot, and dude, I just saw my bank account just like draining, or my crypto, my Binance account just like draining in real time. I'm like, shut it off, shut it off. Yeah, didn't work against the unpredictable future data.
No.
But it was
no.
it was perfect against that back testing data. So I always tell
Mhm.
people, be careful when a new project is saying we've got these trading bots. They did X% over a year or two of back tested data, and I'm like, yeah, you can make that whatever you want.
Austin
really,
loves the
like-
bots, so I don't know. I don't know. I guess I haven't tried them, but I just keep thinking if these bots work so well, why do you have to like sell the service? Is always my question in the back of
100%.
my head. Like,
Yeah.
That's what I said about stable fund. I said, hey, if these guys can do 1.5% a day, they don't need investors' money. They do it themselves.
They should be trillionaires in 3 years or something. Like,
I knew that was getting fucked right from the day I heard about it.
yeah.
Yeah, what a mess. What a mess. Well, guys, I got to run. Aaron, AJ, thank you for coming on. You guys are welcome anytime.
Yes.
Anytime.
Right on, Enrique. Thanks, bro.
And we really wish you both the best of luck, man. We're cheering
It
for
was
both
great
of you
meeting
guys.
you, man.
Yep. Thank
Good
you
chat.
guys for coming here and like having this conversation. Like this isn't easy to do, coming on here in front of all these people and kind of hashing stuff out like this publicly. So I give both of you kudos for doing it and having this discussion here and having some fun with us. Hopefully people learn some stuff, and yeah, you like Enrique said, come on anytime.
Anytime, guys. And
I'd be
thanks for
glad
everyone
to.
for watching. Yeah.
Yep.
All right, guys.
Yeah.
Well, everyone have a great weekend. Thanks to everyone for watching, and we'll see you next week.
All right, sounds
Hey,
good.
guys.
Thanks, guys.
Take care, guys. Have a great weekend.
You too.